Well, when sustainability started to be a real big discussion, and there were a variety of groups, ANSI and Keystone and others working on it, we were interested in the fact that the stewardship index was going to be specialty crop specific, and so we thought that was really valuable for potatoes. We also thought that really bringing the NGOs and everybody else to the table at once, the processors as well as the retailers, was an important step. So we got involved at that point. I do come at it absolutely from a grower perspective. That's the perspective that I want to bring to the table, and I think it's a critical perspective because it's growers who are going to have to implement a lot of any measurement or changes of production practices that result as this from the sustainability effort. So I think it's important. But in the end, you've got to have everybody in the supply chain, because whatever the requests are coming kind of top down from the supply chain for increased sustainability. And so the solutions you bring from the bottom have to meet the needs of those people at the top, both consumers as well as retailers. So it's critical to have everybody at the table. I believe that there are ways to handle the data that's collected through these metrics in such a way that we allow it to be a positive tool for growers to use to improve their efficiency in producing sustainable outcomes over time, and avoid the data that the growers produce becoming an argument for these bigger social issues. I think we depend on our supply system as it exists today to produce product in all parts of the country over varying time frames, and I think we have to be real careful how the outcome of this data is used in that situation. It'd be real easy to take the data from this and decide that, well, somehow some group to decide their political agenda is to have less vegetable grown in New Jersey, and so therefore this shows that, you know, it's more sustainable to grow the vegetables someplace else. Well, you know, I don't know that that's, I don't want to see the stewardship index or the metrics become part of that discussion. Marketing tools will be developed around sustainability, there's no question. I mean, that's a statement that people up the supply chain are going to make. I'm reluctant to see that happen, but I understand that it's probably inevitable. I think it's still important to look at, as we develop the mechanisms for collecting the data and the mechanisms for disseminating the data, that from my perspective we try to minimize the tendency of this to develop to where something's being marketed as being more sustainable than the next guy. One of the ways you do that is to have a single metrics for everybody. That helps, and that's why, again, we think that working with the Sustainability Index people is important.